everybody, and welcome to my Night 1 WrestleMania 40 preview and prediction show. This is going to be a quick show breaking down the matches and giving my overall thoughts on what's going to happen on Night 1 of WrestleMania. I will be going live today, a little bit before 4 p.m. PT, in order to watch all the matches with you all and give my commentary and thoughts on it. And I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be an awesome WrestleMania weekend. All the other out of the ring stuff aside, it's about the matches, it's about the wrestlers, and I'm looking forward to it this weekend. We got a hell of a lineup for Night 1 at WrestleMania. Look at all of these matches that we've got lined up for ourselves for Night 1 of WrestleMania. Becky versus Rhea. You've got Gunther versus Sami Zayn there with Chad Gable coaching him on. You've got Uso versus Uso. Yeet or no yeet. We've got the tag team titles, both sets on the line here. We've got Damage Control taking on Jade Cargill in her debut at WrestleMania, and Bianca Belair and Naomi there. And you got ourselves a hell of a matchup, a repeat of last year's WrestleMania, kind of, with the Latino World Order here, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio taking on Santos, Escobar, and Dominik Mysterio. So a lot to jump into and dive into. So let's get into the first one here, which I think is going to be a banger of a match. It's probably going to steal the night here, and that's the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship here with the Judgment Day versus DIY versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus A-Town Down Under versus New Catch Republic. And remember, Michael Cole made a great point of stressing this over the last couple of weeks, that both sets of titles must be retrieved before the match is over. And so I think we're going to have the titles split up between two separate teams here. I think that's their smart way of splitting these titles up, because people are kind of sick of having the titles be on one team. It limits what you can do, and it limits what you can schedule down the road and what title matches you can put on. So why not give yourself more options rather than less? So in this one, look, it's going to be a hell of a match. A bunch of great athletes involved in this one, a bunch of old school tag teams and a bunch of new school tag teams, from the Judgment Day to the New Catch Republic, that pretty much runs the gamut here, and old school and DIY, who was, of course, so fantastic down in NXT. And I think they are going to win one of those tag team titles. I think DIY is more than due to go and take care of business. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. I think Triple H loves them and wants to see what they can do with a run. And Tommaso, he's getting a little old, so giving him one more run with the belts, or a nice run with the belts with Johnny Gargano, I think is going to be a lot of fun, leading to the inevitable breakup between them, when there's maybe another crutch will be involved in that one as well. And I know this is kind of crazy, but I think the Awesome Truth is going to win the other tag teams. R-Truth has been incredible. He's done such phenomenal work over the last few years. His run with the Bloodline stuff has been fantastic. And certainly I think maybe it's time for him to get another belt that isn't the 24/7 title and have some fun with it. And certainly Miz has one of the worst win-loss records ever, but he also has some of the greatest runs as a champion. So I think it would be a lot of fun to see him get the belt again. I think the New Day could possibly do it again. People love the New Day. Do we give the New Day another run with the tag team titles? Could be very interesting, but that's who I think. I think A-Town Down Under is going to do well, but I don't think they're ready yet to win the title. I don't think New Catch Republic is ready yet to win the titles either. So that's what I think. DIY and Awesome Truth, they're going to take those two sets of tag team titles. I don't know which is going to win which, but I think they're going to get it for sure. All right, let's move on to this match that a lot of people have been really looking forward to, and that's Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi taking on Damage Control. This is, of course, Jade Cargill's WrestleMania debut in ring, and I think it's going to be fun to see what she can do here. They smartly put her together with a veteran, I would say, in Bianca Belair, and definitely a veteran in Naomi. And of course, Bianca, it's unfortunate not getting a shot at any big titles at WrestleMania, but look, this is about the sisterhood, right? And seeing their promos recently, I think has been great to see the three of them together. I know I'm not trying to make a one-to-one comparison, but I kind of have that vibe of Judgment Day. It could be a lot of fun to see what they do together as a trio, as they bring Jade Cargill along. Clearly they know the WWE, they got something really precious here in Jade, and they don't want to blow it too early or have her go out there and make some mistakes, aka Ronda Rousey, as we've seen what has happened over the last few years with Ronda, and of course her book and all the complaints she's got going out now. And I think Damage Control is due for a beating. I think we're done. We're kind of coming to the end of the cycle for Damage Control with everything that's happened here, especially with Bayley and Io getting it on tomorrow night. So to me, I think this is what's going to happen. I think Bianca gets the victory here. They got to let her have the pin in some brutal way over Damage Control, but I think she's going to show up and show out. Bianca and Naomi all going to get their chances to shine here. This should be a good match. Maybe not a great match, but I think it'll be a good match for sure. The next match here, let's get into the Latino World Order, which I, of course, talked about just a few minutes ago here. Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio taking on Santos Escobar and Dominik Mysterio. Bit of a disappointment to see Rey versus Dominik again, at least for me. I enjoyed their match last year. Kind of stole the show a little bit, their match last year. Really surprising. A lot better than I anticipated. Family involved, spankings involved. For those of you Latino, you know what the spankings are all about. And so I liked that vibe to it last year. But this year, I feel like this was kind of cobbled together last minute, maybe to get Dragon Lee a little bit over. But I'm sure Rey wants to get Dominik over big time. Maybe this is his way of doing it, sacrificing himself to put his son over. So I think Santos and Dominik absolutely get the victory. And Dominik is such a massive star now. And Pat McAfee can go F himself with that stupid comment he made yesterday that Dominik would be fighting for the other organization for front of 600 people. Need I tell you, Dominik has been building as a star before he got with Rhea. As soon as he turned heel, did his things heel with Rey, he blew up. Then got with Rhea, and we went to the next level. So Dominik would be just fine. I can't believe I'm saying that 2 years later, because 2 years ago I thought this kid was damaged goods and not worth it. But certainly I think now he's in the prime of his career. He is coming into it really strongly, and I think him and Santos Escobar are going to get this victory. But Dragon Lee is going to show out, so look for some incredible moves from him for sure. Let's move on to the Usos, right? The battle of the family here. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. I've seen online a lot of people are split on this one. Is it going to be Jimmy? Is it going to be Jey? I think it's going to be Jey. You can't call him main event Jey and he loses at WrestleMania. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I think for sure Jey Uso is going to get the victory, but I also think he's going to get his ass beat by Solo and by Jimmy after the match so badly that it's going to be him that comes down and interferes in the match tomorrow night there between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. So I think that's the situation that we're going to get there, is that Jay's going to win this one. I look forward to this one. These guys have talked about it since last year, how they want to battle each other. So I think they're both going to bring their A game, and this is going to be a match that a lot of people are going to remember for a long time. At least that's what I hope. That's my prediction, because both of these guys can wrestle. I just think Jey is just 2 or 3 shades better than Jimmy in terms of being on the mic and the presence and the performances and the promos and all that stuff, and the way he's over with the crowd. It just makes all the sense in the world. And then to have Jey get beat up, because remember, Jay's got to get some kind of revenge on the Bloodline, some kind of revenge on Jimmy, on Solo, on Roman for what happened to him when he left the Bloodline there and all the beatings he took. So I think that's the way that's going to go. All right, let's move on to another match that's super important here. That's the Intercontinental title, with the long reigning champion Gunther taking on Sami Zayn, the plucky challenger who's been working with Chad Gable here. Chad, who has kind of grassroots grown in a lot of people's eyes to possibly be their favorite to unseat Gunther and take the title from him. Of course, he's not facing him tonight, but his protege, for lack of a better term, his student, for lack of a better term, is facing Gunther tonight, and Sami Zayn. Of course, Sami and the Bloodline, great history of them in the past. So seeing Sami getting a match at WrestleMania is a lot of fun here against Gunther. This is going to be a good match, great match, I think, a good to great match, because Sami is such a great wrestler and Gunther is such a fantastic wrestler as well. And I think people still haven't seen the best of Gunther fully. I think there's still maybe a couple of more levels that Gunther has to go to or will go to as a superstar, and I can't wait to see it when that happens. And certainly a feud with Cody Rhodes seems to make a lot of sense if Cody wins the title tomorrow night. Maybe at SummerSlam they meet up. So a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe Sami will take the title off of him because that sets up him facing Cody Rhodes down the road. I'd be very, very surprised if they line this thing up with Chad Gable versus Gunther to have Sami Zayn win the title, because I don't think it's much juice if Chad Gable turns on Sami than it's Chad versus Sami for the title. I don't think that would have as much juice. So I think Sami comes close, doesn't get the job done. Maybe Chad Gable even does some kind of move here or cheats in some kind of way to mess with Sami, and Sami doesn't get the title, and it makes it look like it was an accident. But we all who are big wrestling fans will know that it was actually a stage setup, that Chad got jealous that Sami was going to do what Chad couldn't do, which was to beat Gunther, even though he trained him up. And look, those Rocky 3 montages and scenes have been hilarious, but I just think that's the way this one is going to go, that Gunther wins, but maybe Chad Gable stops Sami or makes a move somehow that affects Sami that looks like an accident, but was actually his intention all along to stop Sami from winning that title. All right, let's get into the 2 big matches here that are coming up on night 1. First match, to me, this is main event A, and that is the Women's World Championship here. Rhea Ripley taking on Becky Lynch. This match is one that I have no idea what is going to happen, other than we're going to see 2 fantastic female wrestlers going at it, bringing the best of what they can do as wrestlers to the ring and delivering one hell of a match. Now, I'll tell you the honest truth. Rhea has been an absolute monster with the title, but have there been a lot of memorable matches since last year's WrestleMania? I don't know that there have been, right? I mean, certainly the one with Zelina in Puerto Rico was a lot of fun, but, Rhea ended up winning that one and really sold Zelina that Zelina could actually injure her or hurt her or could possibly have a chance to win that match, which was never a reality. She did a great job with that. But it's been more about Rhea the person, Rhea the personality, Rhea getting over online, the stink face stuff from a couple of weeks ago or last week. All that stuff has been great for Rhea, and she's been a fantastic champion and a standard bearer, and certainly people love her. But the Becky is someone who is, the man and is very beloved. She has that biography that's out now for people to purchase and read, getting a lot of positive reviews, a lot of positive reactions from people reading that book. She's been outspoken. She got into it with Rhea there on, was it the MMA Hour or was it the Ariel Helwani show? She was getting into it. I forget the name of that show, but they were getting into it. She criticized Rhea for the stink face stuff, essentially bringing in like the TNA versus real female wrestling type of arguments that was a big part of the transition from that Divas era into the era we have now of women's wrestling. So very curious to see how this is going to go. I do think Rhea is going to win this one. I don't think it's time for Becky to have another run. I think Becky's been great. I think Becky's going to put Rhea over. Becky's a soldier for the company. She knows how to put people over. She knows that's sometimes her job as a wrestler. She's a lifer. But I also think, and this is the truth of the matter, I think Becky, and we've seen Becky slim down. She's gotten really skinny lately over the last few months, and I think there's maybe a jump here that Becky Lynch is looking to explore, acting-wise, performance-wise. This is what's happening. We're seeing a lot. I mean, I know some of you who really watch actors, you've noticed the slimming down is starting to happen with a lot of actors. They're getting thinner and thinner again. And to me, I think this is Becky maybe making that move. Remember when The Rock made the move to Hollywood? If you remember the Be Cool era, who was in that movie, he slimmed down. Go and watch that movie and see how thin The Rock is compared to The Rock now. And certainly I think Becky's going to make that jump. So maybe Becky puts Rhea over for a bit, takes a break, and tries to do some acting. Or maybe she sticks around. I don't know. But it feels like she's going to maybe make that jump. So it makes sense that she delivers an incredible match, puts Rhea over even more. And Rhea getting a victory over the man, getting a second victory over the 4 horsewomen, I think would be great. Remember, Bayley's still out there. And then down the road, I believe Mercedes is going to come back to the WWE once she's done with AEW and the 700,000 people watching Dynamite. So I think that's the situation. Rhea gets the victory. But this should be a fun match, and Becky should have a blast delivering some pretty hardcore moves there against Rhea to try to defeat her. But Rhea, in the end, will get the victory. All right, let's get into it. The big match of the night here, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. As I said, this is main event B to main event A, which was Becky versus Rhea. This one is going to be a barn burner, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this match. Look, have I been a fan of some of the stuff The Rock said yesterday and The Rock came out with those comments? No, I'm not a fan of it. I'm having some really tough conversations with myself about my fandom of The Rock. But that's neither here nor there. I'm talking about the match. And this is the match that I've been looking forward to seeing, other than the match tomorrow night, of course, the main event tomorrow night. But this match is going to be a lot of fun to watch here and what's going to happen. There's a lot of things a lot of seeds that they're going to plant here that will bear fruit tomorrow night. Will The Rock inadvertently hit Reigns? Will he cost Reigns? Will he mess with the Reigns? I don't know. That's a possibility here. Are people going to come out and interfere? Is the Bloodline going to come out and interfere to help in this match? Either way, I think the Bloodline wins, absolutely wins this match, because you got to give Cody this massive boulder to push uphill. Rollins can take the loss. It ain't going to mess with Rollins at all. And we saw The Rock messing with Cody last night at the Hall of Fame award ceremony. So I would not be surprised. You've got to do it this way, that Cody is getting beat every which way, loses this match. It looks like he's going to get destroyed tomorrow night, that it really is going to be the WWE screwing the fans' expectations over for another year. By the way, I can't believe it's been a year since the last WrestleMania. It's kind of crazy how fast a year can go. And people got to maybe think in the back of their minds that they are going to screw Cody over one more time. He's not going to finish the story. Roman Reigns will win this belt tomorrow, or retain the belt tomorrow night. And so a beating here that absolutely demolishes Cody, leaves him in some sort of injury that you worry about how he's going to be tomorrow night against Reigns, makes all the sense in the world. So I think absolutely that it's going to be the Bloodline winning, and they're going to set up Bloodline rules for tomorrow night, and it's going to be crazy. I saw that 5-minute video somebody put out of the, which is really funny, of the Cody Avengers showing up, using the Endgame stuff, having all these people show up to help Cody out against The Rock, including the ghost of Dusty Rhodes. And if they find a way to make that happen, God love them. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think that's going to happen here, that they're going to get the victory, and we're going to get Jimmy and probably Solo and Paul Heyman and anybody else attached to the blood. Who knows? Maybe Nia Jax will jump in the situation, because last night she seemed to pretend like she was part of the Bloodline. That could be a possibility here. But at the end, it's got to be Bloodline getting the win so they can enact Bloodline rules for that match between Cody and Roman, and do all the things that they want to do tomorrow night, which will motivate all these heroes to show up and defend. Because I absolutely believe Stone Cold's going to show up. I don't know who else is going to show up from Rocky's past to be a part of this, but I just have a feeling. And I don't know necessarily if The Rock is going to turn face tomorrow night. I just don't know. I love the fact that I'm not sure what's going to happen with The Rock, whether he's going to stay a heel through this program and maybe take on Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, or, because there's a lot of rumors that Roman is going to take a massive break after this WrestleMania, or is he going to stay heel and go his own route, or is Roman going to turn face like The Rock's? It could be, to the shock of everybody, that even Roman Reigns has a limit to the amount of heelness or heelishness that he would be willing to participate in. So maybe there's a moment tomorrow night where The Rock does something like way past the line, and even Roman is like, dude, stop. That could be the moment where they start to turn Roman face, and certainly The Rock, because Roman's part of his family, wanting to put Roman over, and certainly because The Rock's not going to keep wrestling, for God's sake. So it makes all the sense in the world. I worry about The Rock being involved in this match, and then being involved in some way tomorrow night. We'll see how this goes, because remember, when he wrestled Cena, he tore ribs and whatever. So it's a concern as I'm watching this. But I do think this is going to be a hell of a match. Seth Rollins is certainly going to get some fantastic spots. Reigns is going to get some great spots. Hopefully The Rock can still hang with these young guys. He's in fantastic shape. You saw at the Hall of Fame Awards, so we'll see. And then Cody, of course, is going to do all he can to get the job done here and get over with the fans, so much so that people are going to be ultra cheering for him tomorrow night, and I can't wait to see it. All right, well, that's my predictions for what I think is going to happen in night one. As I said, come and join me live later on today. I think at 4 p.m. PT, or just a little bit before 4 p.m. PT. I'll be going live and having some fun watching all these matches with you all, giving my points of views, and then I might do a post night one WrestleMania recap that'll be like 30 minutes or something like that, talking about what happened throughout the night. So join me for all of that today. It is absolutely WrestleMania weekend on the Outlaw Nation channel. I will be here with you all. Thanks again for watching this predictions and preview show. Please let me know what you think is going to happen on all the matches. What do you expect to go down? Who do you think is going to surprise us and show up? What do you anticipate? Who's going to interfere in any of these matches? And what is your thoughts on who's going to win each one of these matches? Let me know down in the comment section below. Hit a like on this video, share it on your social media, and hey, more than anything else, please subscribe to the channel down below. Get us to 50,000 subscribers. Let's do it together on the Outlaw Nation. I would appreciate it madly. All right, take care of yourselves. Be well, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. If you don't join me live tonight, I'll talk to you tomorrow with another prediction show here for night 2 of WrestleMania. But enjoy night 1 of WrestleMania. And until then, I'll talk to you next time on Strong Style.